Hey there, Titans, and welcome back to another Titan Academy video. Today we're going to be talking about user access, or who can access your documents when using a static document in Titan Sign. Let's take a look. So when we first start, we see that we have the option to upload a PDF or Word document. If we upload a Word document from our word-addin that has merge fields from Salesforce, that would be considered a dynamic document. Today we'll be working with static documents, and we'll upload a PDF to show this. I'll just take this generic rental form, and as you can see, I can throw fields on top of my form and have my end user fill out these fields. All right, so we're here to talk about specifically document access, and that's basically who's allowed to access my document. My first option here is a public access, which means that anyone who gets this URL can access this document and fill out the details. All you would need to do is select public. You then have a few options of protecting it by a password that you can distribute, using Smart V, having co-browsing allowed. Today, we're just going to talk only about the document accesses, and in a future video, we'll talk more about the various protections that you can put on top of the different access types. For a public document, I can just click publish. I get this URL. And anyone who I pass this URL to will be able to fill out any details they want and finish this sign project. The next option I have here is a private document, and this is of course a higher level of security and allows me to define specific signers. What I would do is head over here to add signer. I would add a first name and a last name and an email. And this would be one of my signers. I can, of course, have multiple signers. And once I have signers, I can also decide which fields are related to which signers. So I can assign my fields to a specific signer and say this field is meant for this specific signer to sign out, to fill out. And again, we have various protections such as two-factor authentication, where they can receive a code in their email, Smart V, SSO. You can use a list of Salesforce users to verify. We'll learn more about these different protections in a different video again, but note that they are different depending on which document access you select. All right, our third option is a dynamic access, and this is for setting up dynamic signers from Salesforce. So if I want my signers to come from Salesforce directly from records that I have in Salesforce, I would choose the dynamic option. I will click on Salesforce configuration, which would determine which object in Salesforce I want to look at or launch my signing process from. So for example, I might start launching from an opportunity, and maybe I allow for a button to be clicked on an opportunity to launch this Salesforce signing process. And of course, we also have Apex or Flow that you can launch it from, some sort of automation in Salesforce. And once I've decided what object I'm starting from, I can now also configure my signers. And in this case, instead of giving a email and first name and last name, I actually configure which objects I want to query that will bring in my signers. So I'll just do this quickly, and we'll dive a little bit deeper in a future video showing on exactly how to configure this. But essentially, I would select my object. I would write a condition to find which exact contact I would want to be signing now, and then I would map my fields, their first name, last name, and email to determine who is my signer and where they're going to get it, where we're going to be able to send it to their email. And that's about it. So just to review what we've learned here today, we've got public access where everyone will be able to access our sign project and sign it as they'd like. Private, where we can determine static signers based on their first name, last name, and email. We can configure as many signers as we want. And dynamic signers who are dictated based on records in Salesforce, and that's who our signers will be, whatever records we query to determine who our signer is. And that's how it's done.